Hey, that was sort of cool. Wait, there's.
We have sound.
Yay. Something just went vert vert. I don't know what that was. Is my phone going off? My tablet. I have no idea what this did that. All right, well, let's do this. Of course, I got to do the squish thing first. Squish Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and we are going to have some some kind of fun here today. We've got pieces of bag to join, so this is going to be kind of neat. Um, so I gave it up to everybody, like over at Instagram, the choice: do we put this side together first or the other way? And it was actually really like overwhelming. There was everybody, well, I say everybody, 80% of the people who voted said they wanted to put the orange and the yellow together. So there we go. Um, so yeah. Oh, let me do 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 do. Let me first, before we get into anything, remind everybody we still have a secret word game. It's been it's been almost a year now that we've been waiting to see somebody win this stuff. And yeah, it's still there. All you got to do is chat, say the magic word, and you win the two bracelets. It's that simple. And the word has something to do with this channel or bracelet making, or it's somehow related. Or like I've talked about it a bunch. So yeah. And I want to let everybody know we are joined by Mandy, and there's a weird line. Why is there a line going through the Mandy? Why? Wait, did we break Mandy? There we go. That was really weird. Okay, whatever. Got it fixed. Um, so to get these to join really, really nicely, the big trick is to start them off like right right next to each other, like exactly how it would be as if they were already joined. So give me a second. I need to get all of the string that isn't necessary right now sort of up and out of the way. Otherwise, we could get our string in a bunch, and we don't want that. All right. Yeah, so this is gonna be a lot of fun. Oh, by the way, the pattern is over here on my website, akaawol.com. If you go to tutorials and under all tutorials, you will see the one for the rainbow bag being made in live streams. And there's the first video where I made the pattern and stuff for it. And there's the pattern for it. And then there was our first live stream, our second live stream, and today's. And then we'll put in some more eventually as we go along. So, yeah. Oh, wow. And I'm missing out on all kinds of things going on in the chat because I'm busy trying to figure out how to stay on topic. Let's see. The smiley thing in the background. Yes. I was out on Wednesday and I saw that big smiley face thing and I was like, want. I totally want. And I told Mandy about it and she said, well, if it's not too much, I guess go ahead and get it. So I got it. It's kind of a tribute to all our smiley face people who are joining with us here. So yeah. Yeah, there's so yesterday was Friday and I spent the day trying to kind of clean up the office and change things around, and I got the rug put up there, and um there's other stuff back here that you can see. Oh, I didn't turn on the one thing. Hang on. Doo, doo, doo. There we go. Oh, yeah, more cool lights. I knew there was something I was forgetting. But yeah. Yeah, there's all kinds. There's a Christmas decoration in here somewhere. You can spot it. Yeah. Been having a lot of silly fun. Yeah, and the smiley face needs a name. I was thinking maybe George. Well, remember that was the name in the book Ariel, where the guy befriended unicorn. Well, the whole world changed. Most of the people disappeared. The world became magical. The boy befriended a unicorn, and then he got a sword, and they told him he needed to name the sword, and dude named his sword George, which was like so weird. It's a very obscure book. I don't know why it had such an impact on me, but I had started reading it many years ago, and then I had never finished it, and I got all upset about the fact that I was always curious as to how that thing ended. So then I went and I found the book, and yeah, it went from like kind of crazy to full out like, wow, what the heck did I just read? So yeah, kind of cool. Good stuff. Hey. So the crazy lights do shine to the other side of the room over here, which is a little bit of a distraction. Ooh, I'll try not to pay too much attention to that. But yeah, I was really glad that I took yesterday off to do all the things in the office. I tore so much stuff apart. There is right sort of there behind me is a trunk of sorts. It's supposed to be like a bench that with storage space in it, and there was a number of places around the house that had more embroidery floss, and I wanted to kind of get everything kind of contained. So the three other various sources of floss all ended up inside of that box, along with there's a great big huge tub of floss that was already in there. Um, yeah, so having it all kind of contained feels a little bit better at least. So, and it's now kind of a little bit more in reach. That thing used to be kind of tucked away before. So, kind of changed it around. But yeah, there was like a long duration where the whole office was just destroyed, and then it slowly started taking shape again. So we barely have this thing joined. It's just these two black strings. But I'm going to go ahead and bring this all the way out, and then we're going to kind of work on little diamonds through here. And then once we get up to like this row, then we'll bring them all the way across and just sort of segment our way along and see how that goes. So again, this is really just a super easy pattern. Anybody could pick this up if, as long as you have mastered basic. If you can do like a chevron, you can do this one. At this point here, obviously, all I'm doing are knots that are going to the left. And then in a minute, we'll mix it up a little bit more. But this is absolutely beginner stuff. And I say that with full confidence that seriously anybody who is, you know, confident about being able to do a chevron, I really honestly believe they can make this bag themselves. So not sure why I'm getting extra noise off the board here. I think something, I see it. Okay, so just above all this, what you guys can't see is there's a piece of string that goes from a latch or something that's on the back that keeps the part of the easel down when it's being tucked away. And if that string's not tight, it allows this whole part to bounce. So I have like a string and a clip that are supposed to hold that in place. And that got loose. Oh, probably when my tablet fell. Got got frightened pretty big here just a little while ago. My tablet was up on one of those clamp things, and because it's got a safety casing thing on it, it doesn't fit well in there, and so it popped out and scared me half to death. I have to fix something here because for some reason the chat is hard to read. Ah, that's better. Wait, why did I have to? Before I couldn't change the size of the chat. I gave the window just a little skosh this way and suddenly I can change it completely. I don't understand. Windows does weird stuff, man. I swear to God. All right. Low on red. Oh no. Yes. I have a ton of red. Red. Okay. So red is one of my favorite colors. I don't know what it is about it. Just is. Always was. Um, I try really hard not to make every project based on red because it would be really easy for me to do that. I kind of learned like way early on that people like other colors. Go figure. So again, with this pattern, the first part of like when they join with the black, so let's just go all the way out. The next color comes in and goes to the right. And I only chose it to do that because out of the two knots, it's the one that I would probably favor the most. And by choosing it that way, it made it really easy for me to remember, even with the whole ADHD and having to check and recheck things. Little tricks like that can go a long way to making it so that way you just remember what you're supposed to do. So if your favorite one is left, you can change the pattern. Put the left one as the first one. It doesn't, That's not a deal breaker. It's about making it comfortable for you. I just I did some stuff with some icy blues not too long ago. That's always a good look. So if you've been a long time viewer of my channel, you may know that I have wanted to change this camera here for some time now. Last night, Mandy and I tried to work out whether this camera, the one down here, would work out as a replacement. And for some odd reason, we decided to check that out at about 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. We started dismantling camera mounts and moving things around and doing various things. And at first, for some odd reason, the camera went offline and didn't want to come back, which was terrifying. And then, with a lot of checking softwares and doing things, we finally got it back into running and stuff and checked it out. And it looked really, really cool. And since there's still the 11/11 sales going on, we went and ordered.
It was Black Friday.
Or Black Friday. Oh, it was a Black Friday sale. That was it. The Black Friday sale was going on. We went ahead and have ordered a new camera, which is going to kind of change the look around here a little bit. While we were playing with it, I kind of noticed that with the camera further away and having to use some zoom or whatever, we might not have as much background. Some, but not quite as much. It's different. It's really, really different, guys. So, so these videos will be different-ish. And then this camera is actually nicer than the one that we use for the pattern making. So that'll get swapped and it'll be all kinds of stuff going on. Yeah. Ooh, dehumidifiers are nice. I have one in here as well. Actually, can you guys see it? The yeah, it's the little blue light over here. It's an Iron Man dehumidifier. It's really cute. A little bit shaky. You might be drinking too much coffee if you're feeling a little shaky. Oh, I don't know if anybody noticed, but over on Discord, I tried to be cute and I labeled the insiders chat. And here, I'll have Mandy type that out for you guys so you can see what it was that I wrote in there. Because I'm a little bit curious if anybody else gets the reference, because it is quite possible that I kind of showed my age. And yeah, so kind of curious if that rings any bells for anybody out there. Yeah, too much coffee is a thing. Take it from the guy who now has AFib, whatever that means, with my heart, because apparently that's it. Yeah. So I'm kind of half expecting Rah Rah to be the one that actually recognizes the status thing that I had Mandy type out there. That's if anybody here is going to possibly maybe know it. And that's not based on age, that's based on geographical. Yeah, I used to go through a number of double espressos and not think twice about it. But I have a watch that noticed, hey, your heart kind of went a little bit funny there, like going to your own rhythm. That ain't right. Yeah, see, but it's the way it's spelled. It's not just Saturday night. It's Saturday night. And I think that should probably have given it away, but I could be wrong. Mind you, like I said, it is a sign of my being older. So it is really quite possible that this is just going to go over everybody's head. I would have included Rainbow in it, but Rainbow did not grow up in the UK. And by the time she would have gotten to the UK, this would not have been a thing for sure. Mind you, maybe it was bigger in the US than the UK. I don't know. It was huge. Yeah, yeah, that was it. The Bay City Rollers. where they spell it out. The Saturday part is spelled out, and then it's night. And yes, it's very aggressive, and yes, it's over and over. And he's gonna tell this girl that he loves her so. And yeah, the Bay City Rollers. I'm pretty sure. I think that they're Scottish, British, Scottish, somewhere in that general UK-ish thing. But they were a huge hit way back when, and they used to be on the radio all the damn time. And I absolutely loved that song. Absolutely. Like I just played it a little while ago, shared a link with Mandy. It was just like, you know, watch this. Because, just want to share those kind of experiences. What?
When I see Saturday night in caps like that, it makes me think of Bucket.
Right. the, there's a fight. It's Saturday. Yeah, they were really aggressive about trying to do the boxing. Yeah. Yeah, the Bay City Rollers were awesome. So yay. Yeah, it was like I didn't I liked putting random things into the description thing for the Discord. And that's what came up in my mind tonight. And then of course the song was in my head, so I had to go to YouTube and play the song. And if it wasn't for like having copyright strikes or whatever, I would totally play it now, just for everybody to kind of get what the reference is, because I guarantee that there are people who've never heard that before. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but we've already joined like two of these little squares here, this one and this one here, basically bringing both of the oranges into it. Yeah, yeah, same. Yeah. So, yeah, in a second here, I'm gonna throw my headphones back on. There's a thing now with Spotify that is like your personal DJ, and somehow, I guess maybe because, I have signed up for an account or whatever, they like know how old I am, and they're like, "Hey, how about some songs, that were really big when you were a teenager or whatever?" And they start to play the songs from like the 80s, and it's like, "Oh man, oh no." And then like I wake up the next morning and I'm still singing that song. I'm like, "Oh no, what have you done?" Oh yeah. We just did a thing the other day where I played a video and I asked Mandy like, what do all these songs have in common? She's listening to them and she's like, "I don't know. I know all of them, they're all good songs, I guess." What do they have in common? Oh, they were all released 30 years ago. A few days go by and I try it again. What do these songs all have in common? She knows 80% of those this time. Don't know, can't figure out what they would possibly have in common. They were all released 50 years ago. So yeah. Yeah. And the ones from 50 years ago, sadly, I knew them all. I was like, those were all like really big jams back when I was like a little kid. I used to listen to a top 40 station in Michigan. That was my favorite. WDRQ was the thing. I even remember that, like how Crazy is that? So I'd listen to WDRQ. They'd play the top 40 again and again and again. If there was a song you really loved, you only had to wait 39 more songs to hear it one more time. Kind of how that station worked. That is awesome. I just found out there's a whole bunch of Christmas songs that would be very bad at family gatherings. I was trying to find, I saw a funny song on Instagram last night, which was taken from a viewer who said that the thing was recommended via TikTok. And so then I was like, oh, I can't remember what the name of the song was. And I was going a little bit crazy over the whole thing. So then I went and tried to Google it, and in turn found a whole bunch of really, really, really bad Christmas songs, which didn't even know that that was a thing. Like, that's absolutely blew my mind. Oh, we have new buttons. Wait, okay, we have this button, which take a look, guys. We are really close to getting monetized, like the proper monetized, not just the pseudo one that they got me signed up for. So there's that one. There is this one. This is a very, can I move the strings so you can see it better? This is a very, very old logo for AKAAWOL.com. This was probably from the 2003 area. And then we have this. We've got a schedule button again. So yeah, this is what's going on for the live streams for this week. Obviously, the most of those are the members live streams, and then of course there's next Saturdays is the regular one. So yeah, added buttons. Oh, oh, got to watch which buttons I push and go all over the place there. All right. Okay, so here's some really nerdy stuff. Probably I'm the only one that'll be getting into this, but I'll throw it out there just in case. Mandy just let me know the other day that there is another one of the animes being turned into a live action show, and it's got me all kinds of excited. It's going to be on Netflix, and it's Yo Yo Hakusho. And I'm guessing most of you guys never seen this before, but I can kind of give you a rundown of what it is. A guy who is not very good, um, well, I'm saying not very good. He was just the kind of bad person, get in fights, do a lot of things. Uh, so he was pretty much slated to not go to the good place, when he dies. But the very last thing before he gets killed is him jumping in front of a vehicle that's about to run over a child. And suddenly the powers that be don't know what to do with him. And they decide they're going to give him another shot at life, but to kind of prove himself as to not going to the bad place, right? But while he has this newfound life or whatever, he's going to have to work for them and get rid of monsterish demon type things. And they've equipped him with this spirit gun. He like puts his hands together funny or whatever, and he can shoot a spirit gun. And it's not like a semi-automatic. He can only like blast off a little bit. So if they were like to dodge it or something, he's got to wait for the energy to come back. And it's pretty crazy stuff. I was really big in it back in the 90s, and it was like something like that Cartoon Network had on. And I didn't get to catch like every episode in order, so I don't know like how his the people he works with or whatever, how like they got chosen to work alongside him or whatever, or like maybe they're just like friends or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's there's gonna be a live version. And then while looking about the whole live version, I found out that the whole anime series, there's like 4 seasons, is all available on Netflix. So I'm all kinds of stoked. I'm gonna be watching some of that while I make bracelets here this week, because that's a lot of what's gonna be on the live streams, is the making the bracelets and then doing the voiceovers and the edits. And basically we got a bunch of work to do, and hopefully I can get a lot of it done. Yeah, if any of you guys saw the live streams where I was watching, um it wasn't Loki, what was the one? Oh, the Hawkeye. When I was watching Hawkeye, you'll know that I can get a little bit animated when it comes to having a show on while I'm trying to work. That got a little bit silly. It was fun. Bad if you're into the shows and you don't want to be have spoilers, because I'm just like, oh my god, he did a thing, and then there was that, and holy smokes. Yeah. But if you're like that kind of thing, you want to see somebody react to a video that you can't see, then become a member for like less than $5 or whatever. You can like watch me be an idiot.
There's a whole new meaning to reaction videos.
It is kind of. I mean, I I could sort of almost show it, because it is a reaction video and I'm transforming it or whatever, because I know that there are YouTubers that do that. But the channel isn't about me watching anime. The channel is about me tying knots. And yeah. Well, we had something else crazy happen this week out of nowhere. And I have no idea what happened. We had like 16 people subscribe to the channel in one day. I literally watched it go from 2,782 and then just suddenly jumped, like 1 minute I refreshed it and it was like um, 2,790, and then a little few minutes later, 94. Um, yeah, I have no idea what happened that day. Yeah, I have no explanation for it. It was crazy. So if you any of you new people are here, maybe you could let me know like what happened. Because I try looking at the stats. I try looking at like whatever, and yeah, I don't understand. I have no idea what happened.
So did your buddy ever figure out the difference between subscribing and becoming a member?
No, no. I even tried to like point him in the right direction for that. Obviously, he's not here yet. We'll try to entice him again soon. I don't know which day it was, but it's been like, I want to say it was this week. Um, all of the um, all of the patterns that I have already created for all of the like upcoming videos or whatever all became part of the community tab. The only thing is you have to be the member to see it. I thought it was going to have like teasers the way that Patreon works. Patreon has this thing where you can see that I'm posting, you just can't see all of what I posted. But it's not like that at all. It doesn't show, there's no sign unless you're a member. You have no idea what's behind that whole curtain there. But there's all the patterns have been released. I thought about doing it on Patreon, but it would be like all of the Patreon members would get an email with every single pattern that I put up. And I kind of get the impression that that's not good for them. Like they don't like that. So I have to, I'm put up a question like if they wanted the patterns to be released early and nobody replied. So I'm guessing that doesn't really matter. So, but over on the community tab, I posed the question, did people want that? And there was quite a big response from people saying, yeah, they thought that would be a really cool benefit for being a member. So cool. I'm trying to remember what, hang on, I know how to find out. Do, do, do. Oh yeah, so it was last Sunday. So yeah, that was this week. Um, there was a bit of a meltdown that kind of happened. I was um, busy doing the live stream and the OBS, which is the software that allows me to stream to YouTube as well as do my recordings and all that kind of stuff. It had an update and they added an extra button in the control area. Um, and I don't know if I guess I just wasn't paying attention. I didn't look right. And um, so I was all set. I'm like, okay, we're gonna record this video and this is gonna be awesome. Let's do this thing. And so I clicked the a button and spent the next 20, 30 minutes, no, like 30 minutes at least, uh, working on a video. And then, well, let's see if I can show you what happened. Is linked together. Okay. So this is what happened last Sunday. Whoa. Nope. Wait. Hit the wrong spot. It's linked together now. And it gets all kinds of psychedelic groovy stuff going on above it. That is really, really cool. I like this one, guys. I hopefully you guys like it too. And well, thank you for hanging out this long. This has been, I'm not sure how long this one's actually been, but it's been a little while. Um, oh no. I didn't hit the record. It's linked to. So yeah, that was last Sunday. So I spent the whole rest of the day trying to see if I could salvage the video, and um it wasn't until the following day that I could actually download the live stream and recover that whole part. Um, it was so stressful. I probably wouldn't have been so upset if it wasn't for the fact that I had taken a pattern and I had really changed it a lot. And I was really excited about the way that it went and how it all changed. So if you look at the live streams for that day, you'll see that there was live stream number 10 and then live stream 10.5. And that was because I had cut 10 short so that way I could find the area that, because they're going to have to download the entire live stream. And then cut out the part that I wanted. And yeah, it was just a whole nightmare. So yeah, I had stopped the stream, and yeah, that was wow. And yeah, I uh, but yeah, if you're curious as to what kind of things can happen behind the scenes, yeah, that's one of them that was captured. I shared the short, which shows some kind of change on my part because once upon a time, I would never want that to have gotten out and have people see me, you know, because I was pretty devastated. So that I kind of realized, like, yeah, people might want to see that. But yeah, I love the pattern that I had been working on for that. It was really kind of psychedelic and so different from the original. And I made so many discoveries along the way. And if I had to remake it, um, I would either just go at it doing what I knew that could be done, and it would just look like I already knew how that was going to happen, or I'd have to fake the whole "wow, look, we can do a thing," which I didn't want to do. I like the whole candid learning and doing as we go and showing how I work these things out, and losing that on a pattern that I'm really particularly excited about making would have been something. I would have really been bummed about that one. Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't so hard to like down, because in order to like kind of crop out the pieces and create new whatevers, um, you almost have to download the entire thing, which um, like those live streams that I've been doing. I don't know if you guys noticed this. Wait, I actually go over here. Content live. Let's see, we've got 2.5 hours, 5 hours and 20 minutes, 4 hours and 20 minutes. Um, the two that got cut in half, there's 1 hour and 44 and 1 hour and 43. That was on the 19th. Before that was 4.5 hours, 2 hours 45, or that's almost 5 hours, that one. 5.5. Yeah, some of these are really, really long. Like that's to actually bring out the bloopers from any of this stuff. It would take a lot. One, it would take a lot of computer space. It would take a long time to download. Um, yeah, there's just a whole lot of like things, especially when the bloopers are just like little snippets. So it's kind of hard to do the thing. I want to. I kind of want to. I could kind of picture it's easier to maybe just do the shorts, like because YouTube lets me view the video and then take a 1 minute segment out of it to make a short. So yeah, if you spot things in the videos, if you're watching the live streams at some point and you see a spot and you're like, Kevin, that's the part you got to share. Just give me the timestamp where in the video it is, and yeah, I'll totally do that. So at this point, I've already kind of lost track as to how many of these little diamond things that we've actually put together in here, which is probably a good sign. It's a sign we're making lots of progress and we're not like completely like caught up on exactly whatever like the spaces. So the plan is we get a bunch of this done today, and then next week we join the other two ends together, which I think I confused a few people when I was saying like, which should we join? I think people were mistakenly thinking that these two, whatever side you didn't choose, that they're not getting joined. They totally get joined. They just get joined later. This is kind of more about getting the last flat shot where you get to see all of the colors all at once. Because after this, they join, well, you'll see all the colors, but they'll be all mixing and down here, and it'll be very different. So different, but not really different, I guess. So this is kind of fun. I'm kind of happy about the fact that I chose to do another easy bag before we get into what's coming down the line because um, I don't know if you saw there was like a whole series of me doing patterns for bags. There was like several tutorials in a row. Those are the ones that are coming. At the time that I was making those patterns, it was about coming up with the pattern so we could figure out the strings and we could order the string. And that all happened, but then kind of got a little excited about making some bags out of strings that we already had. And that's what these are. And yeah, it's gonna be there's at least one of them that I'm going to have to tick off the areas that are completed as I go along because it's that complicated. And I don't know how I'm going to do it to where you guys can see that happening as it's being done, but I have to figure out some kind of way of setting up the monitors and doing something because um, I think I think that would be helpful. I think it would be a way for you guys to actually see um, how I'm dealing with the problem of something that's that complicated. So yeah, kind of wish Phil was here. He was saying something about the whole if I get one of those other monitors, how it would take up more computing space or more power or whatever. Um, but right now, the well, at least whatever my OBS thing is saying that we're only like 7% of the CPU right now. So I'm wondering if that's if there's something else to be looking at to find out if there's something else, graphics card or something to check on.
I think the main thing is the graphics card.
Right. Yeah. I figure if the computer isn't working that hard, it could probably take that then. I don't know. Kind of curious. The one thing's for sure, the on this particular one, the black string is used more than anything else. Most of my strings are pretty long, but the black ones are definitely getting short much faster. Obviously, they don't get a break in how frequently they're used. So kind of knew that one going into this, but kind of want to share that with you guys in case you're thinking about doing one of these yourselves. The black strings, you're going to use a lot more of them than anything else. Did you hear that noise outside?
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Like,
Sounded really, really creepy. Hmm. Andy's reminding me I need to thank my Patreon supporters as well as my YouTube members who make all of this stuff possible. You guys are absolutely the best. I can't believe we've already been working on this project for an hour. And yeah, I just want to be able to thank you guys again because um, it really does affect the channel a lot. Um, just the ability, like I said, we're getting a new camera. That was not cheap, by the way. Um, and it's possible that the videos going into next year might be done in 4K. Um, I'm not sure how that's going to affect. I don't know how much space my editor has and how that will affect the workflow and stuff. But I'm looking into all of this right now as a possibility. So lots of stuff coming our way, and it's going to be good stuff. Mind you, I don't think these. Well, I know that the recording part can be in 4K. I don't think I can make the live streams 4K though. I think that that's um, YouTube and bandwidth and stuff related. I don't quite understand how that works, but yeah, we'll work this stuff all out as we go along. Basically, I'm gonna slide this over a bit so we can get the last few squares here. I think we've done at least 6 because it was up in here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's been 6 of them. Oh, and on my day out, I got to have a Hershey pie, so I was all excited about that. But I noticed something new. So I was at a Burger King, obviously, having my little Hershey pie and my plant-based burger, and they had renovated the whole restaurant inside of the mall. and I noticed that they basically made, like, instead of posters, they're like glass. Um, like maybe it's most likely tempered glass or whatever, but it's their poster. It's easy to clean, and the walls are all concrete, and basically even like the ceiling, everything about it, nothing absorbed sound. So everybody talking to anybody else at the other tables was absolutely amplified, and it was to the point that it really was bothering me. Like I know that, like, they talk about fast food restaurants making the seats uncomfortable so people don't stick around too long, but they actually made the atmosphere disturbing enough that I didn't want to stick around. It was very uncomfortable for me. I don't It was just like, it, it's not a very big place. It's a small little thing, um kind of a, in a weird tucked away area of the mall itself. And but yeah, I was super uncomfortable with the whole experience, which is, that felt, well, they only revamped the whole store like this, like a month or so ago. I haven't, like, this is the first time I ate there since they redid it. And I suspect that they did a lot of stuff different, and I don't know if that's intentional, the whole sound quality thing. But yeah, that was completely a new experience for me to realize, the, like, how much that bothered me.
Sounds like a win for Shake Shack.
Yeah, for sure. I had that for lunch. So, mind you, I'm not opposed to having Shake Shack twice in a day. Just saying, I can do that. I have done that. I'm sure I will do that again.
Did you also have two milkshakes in a day?
Yes. Hey, I'm pretty good most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I waited all day to have this Pepsi. Oh yeah, I kind of. I'm like, was thinking back, like, okay, so yeah, it was Sunday that whole thing went kind of crazy, and I didn't hit the record button. Um, Saturday night, up chatting with Phil until about 4 o'clock in the morning. So when Sunday came around, and it's time for me to do live streams and actually get work and stuff done, that may have been part of what hindered the whole, mm, brain cell, and yeah, yeah, it was pretty bad. I was pretty out of it. Mind you, I didn't have a lot of sleep last night. Like I said, I was up busy experimenting with cameras and trying to figure out how do we mount them in ways that make sense. And that was, Everybody's so quiet. I need to put on headphones so I can have some music in my ears. Don't know why they weren't on already. And we're gonna try out that the random DJ guy. Because if I go and give it a song, it'll build a playlist based on a song. But the DJ thing will try to just throw something crazy at me. They did the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Doom, 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 doom. So I suspect we're missing a few of the people because it's the holiday season is already kind of creeping in there. I know that Minute Craft is sort of out and doing vacation time or something right now. Uh, an old moo. It's cute. So in this case here, right? Again, knowing that the first one of the squares is the one that goes to the right really helps out when the two colors are really incredibly close to each other and could be like confused one for the other. Um, it's just again, the little detail like that can help make it so you don't make mistakes. So hopefully this is stuff that will help others who want to embark in this sort of thing. I got a real feeling because of the fact that I am literally just making this on the live streams only means there's a chance that if you jumped on it and started working it right now, you'll finish it before I do because you have, 6 other days in the week to work, right? So, you know, I mean, okay, let's see. 3, 6, 7. We're just over 7 hours worth of work to be this far into it. So you could catch up this far by doing an hour a day for a week. Well, that is if you do not as fast as I do. You might do faster because I'm busy talking and pushing buttons and trying to be funny and stuff. So you might actually get more done than me. It's possible. I have to stop for a second because now Spin Doctors. Like I know this band. Who is this? Right. Two Princes by the Spin Doctors. A barrier chair? I'm somehow picturing like Game of Thrones kind of. I'm just, I'm just- yeah, that's a combo that just would terrify me to no end. I would honestly have to get myself. Have you seen those Office Pod things? The it's like a little tiny cubicle. Hang on. These things. I would honestly, if I had cats, I could see myself having to get something like that, just a little something you can go in there, close the door, you can see them, oh, hello kitty, but they can't get at the strings because yeah, not that not that the office is, not already sort of some sort of barricade between me and the rest of the world, but yeah, that's why you can still see the cat. It's kind of like that, except for it's got like an adjustable little thing with a chair in there, and yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, if you just put in the search Office Pod, you'll see these things. I have no idea. There's a number of different manufacturers. I'm apparently some are prefabs, some are, custom builds. I don't know. We had them here in Singapore for a little bit up at the mall. There was like four or five of them in a row where you could come along, and I don't know how you rented them, but you rented the space to have a little, a workplace for you and your laptop
I
and
think you like
stuff,
scan a QR code and pay online or whatever.
right? Something like that, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could put a latch on the door and make it so, the little meow meows can't get in there. You could probably even put the 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 perch climbing post things that cats like to hang out on. You could put one right next to it so they like climb up and they could like, look in and watch you. Yeah. I don't think they're still there. I don't remember seeing them the last couple times I was at the mall. But then again, I don't know if I kind of went over that direction. I don't remember the last time I passed that area, but I don't remember them being there the last time I was kind of in that general area of the mall. It's a big mall. It's like we already had a decent sized mall, and then they built a whole huge expansion onto it. So it's kind of crazy over there. But yeah. I don't know, as warped as my head is, and the need for me to be able to sit and tie knots at times, I would probably, get myself a little parka on and deal with my hands being turning blue to tie knots if that's what it took. So how cold is it right now out there, Rara? Out of curiosity. Mind you, I was just telling somebody possibly earlier today, they were talking about it being cold and enjoying a cup of coffee, and I was like, wow, it's been a long time since I've been somewhere where I was cold and the coffee was there to kind of warm me up. Like that just doesn't happen here. Like right now it's 26 degrees outside according to the Google thing. 3 degrees. Yeah, that's chilly. Yeah, so I was trying to explain to somebody a while back that 3 degrees can actually be colder than if it was -1. And of course, they thought I was stupid. But the reality is, at 3 degrees, the rain comes down, gets your jacket wet, lets all your body heat out, and you will get severely, severely cold. If at -1, anything coming out of the sky is now a snowflake instead, it lands on your jacket, brushes off. You don't get, soaking wet and you don't freeze. So yeah, kind of a weird thing that, yeah, like I said, I came from where it got stupid cold, like -20s and stuff. So yeah, I totally get that stuff can suck. Yeah. Oh man, if you get wet and there's a breeze, oh man, yeah, that's you're done for. Yeah, I don't miss that stuff. I do miss being a bit cold. I used to like a nice autumn day with a cup of coffee or a hot cocoa with the marshmallows. Oh yeah. And that's when, see, that's the thing over here. Like nobody gets it. Like everybody loves soup for some reason. I don't know why that is culturally or whatever. They love soup. I only like a soup or chili or some of those things when the weather gets cold enough. And then it suddenly those are like, yeah, that's the stuff that you go for. I don't know. Oh yeah, the new merch, the uh, the Don't Break the Kevin is available. Which, did we put in an order for that? I still want that tank top. Oh yeah. Okay, there's some plus sides and downsides to the beard. I can tell you this from personal experience. Once upon a time, um, pre being married and told not to have a beard anymore, um, I on many occasion had to walk to work, and it was about 5 miles away. And by the time I would get there, the mustache and beard would have ice from breathing and yeah, yeah. It basically like snotsicles. I have no idea what she typed. I first read baklava and I was like, what? I she's saying words and my mind is like, huh? What? You don't know what that is. What is that?
I'm finding you an image.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to pull that up there, Jim. Oh. Isn't that just a ski mask? In America, that's just like what we use for robbing places. I don't I don't get the fancy name for it. Yeah, bank robber. Oh no. Wait. We're gonna need a little help here, Jim.
Oh my god.
And I'm waiting. All right on. I had am I sold now? Sure. I had a wait, let's see if I can find it. It's okay. Columbia doesn't want to show it off anymore. Do. What is this? There we go. So this is a little bit like my hat. It had the whole things that dropped down and it snapped on top, except for it had the down the middle like a mohawk of little triangle bumps that sort of made it sort of dinosaur-y like. And that was my winter hat for like when it got super crazy cold out. It was awesome. It was made by Columbia, so it was keep you plenty warm, plenty dry. It was absolutely awesome. Um, but yeah, so like looking a little silly in the cold, yeah, I was already down with that. Yeah, yeah, it's too bad. I was kind of hoping that I would actually find the picture for that thing. I guess it's a trapper hat. Wait, let's try that. Columbia. I wonder whatever happened to that hat. Uh, I just saw a hat that's semi-related because it's got that same kind of color. Yeah, it was a crazy, funky bluish green, but like the dinosaur bumps were all kinds of different colors. Yeah, I don't see it. I really wish I could share that with you because it was such a crazy, silly hat. And a lot of my friends were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you'd wear such a thing." And I loved it. I thought it was awesome. The moment I saw it, I had to have it. It was probably a $30 hat, but the outer shell was the kind of stuff that they use on their like jackets that repel the water. The inside was that really soft, fluffy fleece stuff. It was awesome. Yeah. Oh, and it had so you had the big flap things, right? That would come down and cover your ears. You could like snap that up and just wear it around the top. You know, like the you always see the Russians wearing these things, right? Um, so when you dropped it down, there were little flaps here that could either be snapped down or snapped up. And if you snap them up, it exposed like these, like almost like buttonholes going through it that let some of the heat out. So if you were getting too warm in it, you could actually, but you still needed to have your whole head protected. You could actually flip these little things and let some excessive heat out, or maybe it was for better to hear stuff, but it wasn't really like the flap really blacked out much. So I really think it was about the heat. But yeah, that was it. Had like so many like little facets about it, just made it so awesome. But yeah, absolutely function. Like the Bugaboo jackets I used to wear. They're it's a rain jacket in the autumn and spring, and then there's like in on the dry days of autumn, there's the felty part that you can wear that by itself. But when you put like the two pieces together, it becomes a proper winter jacket. Those things were that was an awesome one. Oh man, thinking back to the functionality back then, we, well, Mandy and I had Blackberries, and BlackBerry actually had an app that let her track me going to work, so she could see like where I was along the way, and if I like got maimed by a car or something, and saw that I was like stuck in an area for too long or whatever, she knew how like to call for help and get me saved. So like, because that was like actual concern back in the day. Long hike, and a lot of the sidewalks are all blocked by the snow that they plowed off the dry or the parking lots and stuff. Because the guys who plow the snow, they charge by the square foot that they clear, but they don't get anything for the sidewalk, so they just plow out the whole every single parking place, even if it makes it terrible for other people. It's so cool the way all these colors just kind of flow along. We're going to start seeing colors that typically don't go together starting to mix. We already have the blues and the yellows here. And then it's going to be like the greens and the oranges. A little bit, right? It's going to get kind of crazy when, because each color goes out in both directions. So at some point, they're going to come back together again. And when they do, for that little space, it's going to do the foxhound thing, right? Like, or houndstooth? Fox, what is it called? There's a,
Also,
is that what it's called? Yeah. So yeah, it's because you're going to have, like at the top, the solid square, and then going out in the different directions, it's going to be that same color at various points. So it's going to be cool. I mean, I don't know how many times it's going to happen though. I know it'll happen at least once. The question is how many times will that happen? Looking forward to, I forget, um is it Brittany that's, yeah, Brittany's making the one of these, and instead of doing two shades of each color, she's going with three. I think that's going to be amazing to look at. Like, it's just doing two shades of each color already is just, it just stretches the rainbow out so much. But doing three colors, that's that's going to be amazing. Like that's really going to be a fun one to follow. So my DJ friend here just told me it's got some of my normal Saturday music. I have normal Saturday music? I found it. This is, so they're calling it a vintage Colombian fleece trapper from the 1990s, the Aztecs. This is it. It's got, those are the little bumps, except for the one I had was in this color, this bright bluish thing. But that's it. I realized if I put in dinosaur into the search, it might actually pull it up. And yeah, that was my hat. It, the little dinosaur bumps. I don't know why that makes me feel really good to have seen that again, but it does. I'm sure that probably affected my ability to have a car stop and pick me up and help get me to work. You know, see a grown ass man, 6'4", walking down the street with his little dinosaur bump hat on. That might have, looking back, might have affected things a little bit. Do 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 do. I don't know where this came from, but they're playing a very, very, very old song. Do 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 do. Sugar, sugar. Do 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 do. Candy girl. I just have to check on who's the artist because, oh, it's not who I thought it was. It's the Archies. Candy girl. So the working in squares part here really kind of comes down to, again, making it easier for myself. Again, with the whole making sure that I go off in the right directions with the right colors. Um, it's just about making sure that wherever I leave off at is going to be as absolutely as easy as possible. So I honestly I have no idea how far we're going to make it here tonight. So now we got the lighter orange, still kind of a nice shade of orange, going over the lighter green. Wow, it's changed up the music dramatically from the Archies to Mikey Clark. That's crazy. What will you be? Dum, 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 Just realized something I said earlier. It came back. I looked over. I saw the hat over there, and once again read the thing, and then it kind of hit vintage, 1990s. Ow, ow. Down, I'll be down, down with the clown till I'm dead in the ground. I'ma be down, I'ma be down, down with the clown till I'm dead in the ground. I'ma be down, down, down with the clown till I'm dead in the ground. Down, down, down with the clown with the head in the ground. Yeah, I heard cassette tapes are coming back, and I was like, really? Okay. I saw a photo of like a whole bunch of the cassette tapes I had from like late 80s. Like, oh man. Yeah, of course not. No. I just heard that there is a new Atari 2600 Plus, and the plus in the Atari 2600 is the fact that they've actually made it compatible to work with our TVs. Essentially, it has an HDMI out on it. Um, I don't know if it's like, I guess it's to use the old cartridges, which, like, where on earth would you even find those? Yes, I saw something about that. Yes. Oh, you printed the save icon. Urgh. But mind you, okay, I go far enough back. I had I wish I could share the picture with you guys. Maybe I can pull it out of the chat. I shared it with Mandy. Hang on. Yeah, save as. Yep. I swear to God, that said it was going to my desktop. Where did it go? Oh, I see it. It went into a folder. Uh, do. These cassette tapes here with the yellow and the funky colors. I was saving computer programs for the Commodore VIC 20 with those. And then after a big fight with my natural mother, I turned and took, because basically she got mad about the computer and me always using it and not sharing it and whatever. Um, I'm like, fine, you want your kids to play with it? That's fine. But I wrote all the programs that made the thing at all interesting. And I just started recording music over top of all of that stuff. And then um, in school, we had the big floppy disks, the real floppy kind. And then after that came the smaller ones, like that was in that meme. And then there was the ones that hold 100 megs. I forget what that was called, but there was a different kind of you had to buy like it was a special little external thing, and the
The
discs.
Omega.
Yeah, that was it. Yep, yep. Yeah, had those. Yeah, I've gone through all of that stuff. I've always loved computers. I'm kinda tempted once I get this row that I'm working on across, bringing the purple side up, catching it up with everything else. I think that'll work. So now we have the darker orange and the darker green. And you're right, this does feel like it's rebellious. I guess the colors that these two sort of work out okay because you would have orange flowers on a green plant, but I would never just put green and orange together in a bracelet typically. Anarchy. What was the Flint's Anarchy and at Bedrock? That was green jello, green jelly. They changed it. Okay, it was originally green jello. Jello brand whatever sued them, so then they became green jelly, and then sang songs about green jello sucks. Some 90s rebellious music. Anarchy in Bedrock. Twitch, twitch. Yeah, hilarious song if you've never heard it. Okay. Trying to figure out if there's like a prime spot for the light here. It's so weird that like, look at that, it just changes everything. Ideally, I would love to be able to find a light that's like this spreads out, like it's meant to like light up a whole desk or, be a like a work thing. Like if I could have it to where I could put it up higher and it just came straight at where it's supposed to light up, that would probably be like really cool. But I don't know what that would look like. Oh, it's already midnight. Okay, let me once again thank the patron as well as the YouTube members for helping the channel along. Like, obviously, this has been quite the endeavor. We've invested all kinds of stuff for sound and now videos and stuff. So, I just, again, thank you very much, guys. So, yeah, now we're up to what, 8 hours of work on this bad boy. Give or take. I think some of the videos maybe go a little bit long. I'm not really sure, but yeah. So yeah, this is the lighter red and the lighter yellow. So awesome. Ooh, that means in the next square it's going to be the light red and the darker green. So one more hour, and then I think that's where we're gonna end the night. Is round one. Wow. The whole just like doing little segments and stuff. I don't know if this is necessarily the fastest, but it is obviously the way to make sure that to not make mistakes. Like obviously if I was just to keep coming up in longer rows or whatever, that might go faster. Um, but I'm also working towards the idea that when the black starts to run out, to be able to replace those strings, that'll all kind of happen in one area, which will kind of make that bit a little bit easier. I kind of wish there was, I had bet, like, I guess how it would have had to work is like have Mandy keep track of each time I finished one of these little boxes. So I know how many there were. And then I could kind of get a guide as to like how far we're going to get along, each day in the project. Because, it'd be pretty easy to do the math to figure out when these two join how many boxes there are until the whole thing goes level. But I have no idea at this point. Might be able to take a look at the photos from before and be able to figure it out. But that's going to take a lot of brain cells, and I'm not sure I've got that. Got this like super mellow music in my ears. It's just like so So super chill. Okay, this is a little bit more upbeat. I'm gonna try something here real quick. See if you guys give you guys a couple seconds. So, did you guys spot the Christmas decorations? Or decoration ones, not plural. Okay, yeah, maybe I could do that. So, how's the fill doing? Kind of cool that you're here, Phil. We were earlier. I was asking, saying, well, I was saying that it would be cool if you were here because I was curious. I can see my CPU usage, but I can't necessarily see the video card usage. But my CPU says it's like 7 or 8%. So I should be able to do the bigger monitor, no problem, right? Like it's not like my computer's taxed, and this is like the normal amount of stuff I have open, give or take. How did you know that I was trying to get Mandy to do the math? Guess I'm transparent. I see CPU, memory, disk, and network. Oh wait, there's a bar. Here we go. GPU, 52%. And it's OBS is the power usage, and the GPU is it's all the OBS, which um, additional monitor stuff would not be doing anything with the OBS. It's just about being able to display some of the extra screen stuff. Like I want to be able to see the WhatsApp and the Discord. And then later I'll have GIMP in there as well. No, no, everybody's giving the likes. Come on, guys. We got what you call a big body monster. Yeah, all my stats are like moderate. The hardest working thing is the GPU, and it's at 52%. And most everything on there is like very low percentage. The only thing is the OBS. OBS is like it's just well, it makes sense. It's working hard. I did just do that. Did that like 20 minutes ago. You missed that one. That one's coming up again right before 1. And kind of wanting to see if we can add some more names to that members area there. That would be kind of dope. Guys can then check out all of the videos early. You can go and you can check out very special behind the scenes live streams, as well as all the patterns have been made available through that. So yeah, members is kind of a cool thing. Do we have a YouTube members thing for the bot to talk about?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. What do you do? Type member? I don't even know how this stuff works anymore. Oh, join.
Join member.
Ooh, that's pretty cool. I'm definitely going to like the fact that this one little row over here that was like barely attached on or whatever is finally going to catch up with everything else. Somehow it being off just didn't seem right. And obviously I'm going to take another photo to share with like Instagram, and having it on there is going to be nice. Wasn't there just a whole big meme thing about cheese, which I totally didn't understand why that suddenly became a thing? Man, now I totally want cheese. Ooh, but I got pizza. Pizza has cheese. So is it like normal cheeses or some of that weird stuff that like first off is difficult to pronounce and then starts getting into like weird soft gushy ugh, ugh. I have a limited range of like acceptable cheeses. We're into something that they don't even let them put the name cheese on the package.
It's because it's not cheese.
It makes nice cheese sandwiches.
Mm-mm. It's as much cheese as margarine is butter.
Yeah, I know. I like the spicy cheese. The what's what's the one that's got the hot peppers in it? I like that one. Yeah, I'm not into pumpkin spice. I'm not into soft squishy cheeses. Well, no. I like Philadelphia cream cheese. Oh, yeah, that one a lot. I eat stupid amounts of that with bagels or mushrooms. If you get Drake's batter and then you take a mushroom and you pop the stems off and you put all the stems in with cream cheese and mix that and get it all like to one big mushy thing, and then you pack the cap with that mush, and then you jab it with the long forks and you dip it into the Drake batter and you put that into the hot oil. Oh, oh, the cheese gets all into the mushroom and the batter stuff gets all nice and crispy and oh, good stuff. I don't know what a camembert is. Blue cheese with the hot sauce and you put that over chicken and you bake it. It's like buffalo wings, but the blue cheese just makes it so good. Oh my god. I ate a hotel pan worth of that before. The boys at the Navy base weren't eating it because they were wearing their whites and they're afraid of getting messy. And so there was a lot left over. So I made a pit stop on my way home and dropped the thing off. Came back after work, went home, and there was, some partaketh ofs. And the next thing I know, I ate a hotel pan worth of chicken wings. And it started out so cute. It started out with like, I had a roll of paper towel, and I would eat a chicken wing, and I kind of, you know, and, and I was fine. After a little while, it just got to where it's like, you know what, this wiping every time thing is for the birds, and just started going all in, and so my whole entire goatee was like just covered in sauce. I can promise you. Hey, and I got red floss you can get, so we'll make it worth your while. Yeah, I'm guessing that I would not be allowed to sit in those chairs. Oh, you guys are in England. Curious. Um, is that TikToker Mizzy making the news kind of big over there for going to jail for being basically the worst TikToker ever? Because the Americans are all making videos about the fact that he got 18 weeks in jail for the various pranks, the unfunny jokes and whatever that he's doing. Mm. So it's this guy Mizzy, who some of his pranks were walking up to people, and filming it and asking them, do they want to die? And just, you know, freaking them out. Um, there was other ones where he just walked into people's houses and that freaked them out. There was one where he went up to a lady at the park, grabbed her dog, and ran off down the street with it. Um, he jumped onto one of the trains where the conductor must have gone off to go use the toilet or something and started playing with buttons and doing things. I mean, just a whole lot of like really, oh, walked up to somebody and straight up just hit them. And then was just like, hey man, it's just a prank. Just stuff like that, just like terrible bad ideas from somebody who's probably 17, 18 years old. Went on TV. There's um I can't remember. Pierce Morgan was questioning him, and he was basically told Pierce Morgan that British laws are weak and that they are not going to do anything anyways. So yeah, yeah, oh yeah, it was all crime mostly, and he was filming it all, for TikTok. Um, yeah, and if you pretty much any of the YouTubers that have covered it are just like absolutely just the things that this kid was doing were just so bad. Like everybody just despises him. I mean, I've never seen somebody who thought like that he was funny or whatever. But yeah, finally, they let him out on parole, and he screwed around and did something, I don't know what. So they put him away into a like a juvenile thing for 18 weeks. I was just curious if like that's sort of, yeah. I just wonder if like that was the kind of bigger news or not there, because it definitely made some rounds through the whole YouTube community. Like everybody's been kind of waiting for this guy to go to jail. And a few of the YouTubers are predicting that this probably won't be the end of it, because he's such a clout chaser that he, do anything to get recognition. Because like some of the really bad ones really went fairly viral and really kind of got him, kind of like, yeah. um, yeah. So kind of, I would kind of hope that he becomes like infamous to the point where like everybody just knows who he is and thinks that he's disgusting and wants nothing to do with them kind of thing, as opposed to really anything else coming of it. Yeah, there's obviously plenty of that. I heard that Russia is actually considering ending the war. I don't know how that's supposed to turn out. Yeah, I would kind of hope that they would get banned from the various platforms. So I don't know if you guys caught how I just basically did this row over here. Instead of doing it in blocks like I started to, I went with just plowing through like the half row and then the half row, just making it as fast as easy as possible. I want to get this part done. I want this to look kind of cool for the start of next week's and the photo that I'm going to do. Yeah, I think that it's just cost them too many lives, too much money, too much everything, and they're just like, you know what, this did not go like we planned, and they're gonna. It's funny because like some of the old time Americans, like from the Congress, what's that one guy's name? I can't think of it, but the Americans are saying that this has been the best investment ever for the little bit of money that they gave Ukraine. They're wiping out Russia's whole fighting power. That if they had had a war with Russia, it would have cost us a whole shitload more. But it's not Americans dying. It's not costing America a lot of money. It's like that's kind of grim way of looking at it. But whatever. I mean, the sad part is when you see like some of like the basic Russian people, for like the ones that aren't like in the city or whatever, like their lives are so simple compared to like most developed countries and stuff. Like Russia really couldn't afford to be playing around like they were, and like yeah, there are totally some that are saying that, which is so dumb. Yeah, that's your mate Marjorie Taylor Greens and whatever that new speaker dude's name is, Johnson. But oh, Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell thinks it's been great. Like Mitch McConnell's ready to send more money and finish Russia off, basically. Same party, just well, no. You got your old Republicans that have a little bit of dignity, and then you've got like the new nutbag version who seem to think that the only way to go forward is to go more extreme. Like you're just, oh, the only reason we're not, passing more strict rules is because we haven't gone crazy enough. Don't understand it. does not make any sense to me whatsoever. No. Dublin is Ireland? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. 40 some odd people arrested, and the mayor or somebody important was saying that the city was relatively safe. Wow. Yeah, that always happens. As soon as as soon as things pop off, there's always somebody to stir the pot. Oh, did you guys hear that the cop that killed the the one guy? I can't think of the name of the guy. Anyways, the cop went to jail. Cop got stabbed. Cop is in the hospital. It's like, whoops. Anyway, George George Freeman, George something. The one where the cop like knelt on his neck. Yeah, he went to jail, then got stabbed. Yeah, yeah. I read the news of him, the cop being stabbed. I like for a moment there, I felt a little bit bad that I didn't feel bad. You know, this cop was so disregarding of somebody else's life, and now he's facing, whatever. Kind of, yeah. This is a keyhole. Yeah. Well, to be honest, I'm a little surprised with the number of killings that have happened and the number of police officers that never go face actual justice. The fact that this guy actually did was sort of like good, you know. Maybe other officers will wake up and learn that they maybe can control themselves a little bit better, you know. Um, so yeah, yeah. I mean, you can't. There's so many stories of officers abusing their power or shooting somebody. They There was a caregiver with somebody who was autistic, and the the caregiver was trying to get the autistic boy back, and the autistic boy had like, I mean, like a pretty big boy, had like a toy truck or something, and the cops are telling him to put it down, and the guy's talking to them or whatever and saying, hey, he's autistic, he doesn't understand, he's not, what a problem, whatever. Followed every single thing, and still got shot. Unbelievable. Like, yeah, if you haven't seen that one, that one's worth going back and having a watch and seeing how that one played out, because that one was infuriating. And the cop got no trouble, oh, it just kind of slipped, didn't mean to shoot him in the leg. I mean, so I was like from the Detroit area in general, lived in Detroit for a little bit. I think everybody I know knows at least one person who was shot. Like, for me, it was a friend who um, was trying to break up a fight. Maybe it was like a robbery, whatever, but there was already something going on. He was like, hey, man, you guys, whatever. And then the guy with the gun just turned and shot him instead. I don't know what happened after that, but yeah, just crazy. Yeah. Only in America could you have people shooting another person over sale items on the day after they celebrated for being thankful for the things that they have. Yeah, those are the things I don't miss in America for sure. Not a lot I actually miss. I just miss the pizza rolls. Yeah, it's the only thing that's left over here that, yeah. Well, so the whole stupid thing on Black Friday is every big box store knows that you only have so much money to budget to buy Christmas gifts. So the Christmas season, shopping season, officially starts immediately after Thanksgiving. So that first day is called Black Friday, where supposedly the the stores start making a profit because they'll sell a bunch of stuff because of Christmas shopping. So the big stores will have a limited number of something very, very special. And if you're one of the earliest people there, then you can have that thing. And there'll be, a couple big TVs, a couple this, that, whatever the hot ticket items are. There's just a couple of these things, and everybody hits those stores fiercely, like absolutely insanely. And people get trampled. People start to, hey, I was here first. I had my hands on that first. It's mine, kind of thing. And that then people get shot as a result. Like it's awful. It's terrible if you have to work it. I've done that before. That sucks. All right, guys, we have it all that far done. That was pretty good. That was a pretty good amount considering. I didn't think we'd get it all the way to a point, to be honest. I was pretty certain that was not happening, but this is pretty photogenic. I'm gonna be happy to get a shot of this. So thanks for hanging out with me. It's been almost just exactly the 3 hours. Um, we will be back next week. Next week's the beginning of December, isn't it? Wow. Yeah.
Mhm.
So then it's the next week where we have the patron hangout on the Sunday. So nothing too much going on. You guys have seen the schedule. I'm going to be live streaming tomorrow. Monday we're out. Back on Tuesday. Wednesday I'm out. Thursday I'm streaming. Friday off, and then we'll be back Saturday. So lots and lots of fun. I think that's everything, guys. So as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.